the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have make sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now.
So many times you may have some desire, some guilt, some pain for which you are not able to find solution. And now the best chance or the best way to get the solution is from Master. Master is here. Don't miss the chance. We are going to work on each major layers. We are going to work on desire, guilt, depression, fear, and every major things, not only practically, esoterically. It is not even actually technique, because they are so esoteric, so deep. The whole course is designed just for the total transformation.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have make sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now.
So many times you may have some desire, some guilt, some pain for which you are not able to find solution. And now the best chance or the best way.
Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatītam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamastyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatītam Trigunarahitam Sadguruntam Namami. Nithyanandam, everybody. We welcome each and every one of the viewers who are sitting with us live from all over the world for today's Yet another powerful session followed by the very special Darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today we are all going to be blessed with the Darshan of the Ashwarudha Murty in our day-to-day life, and the Darshan would be starting at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you're tuning in, stay tuned during the whole time, and you can experience the direct darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So before that, let us understand a few things into the session today. My name is Srinithya Sundareshwarananda, and I'd be one of the hosts today.
And I am Srinithya Brahmasukhananda Maharaj, and I'll be your co-host today.
Yes. In today's world, what we're going to be looking at is how a psychological manipulation is increasingly being used to control the thoughts and the actions. And most of the time, this happens without even us realizing it. Those who are often in control of the weaponized technology or the social media and propaganda influence our behavior and beliefs. On a larger scale, if you see, the superpowers are those who have the highest weaponizing technology. If you look at an individual level, like what is that we cognize and what is that we start thinking and believing, it is based on the social media, because we spend our maximum amount of time on social media. And of course, we have now the new generation of AI coming in, the advancement of AI, which seemingly poses some serious threats onto the existing world order as we now enter into a new paradigm of the clash of the civilizational narratives. So, what does it mean for Hindus today? How can Hindus stay ahead in this game? And how do we protect this millennial old legacy, tradition, and culture? And most importantly, how can each and every one of us benefit from this, from the various revelations and solutions given by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism? That's what we're going to be learning today and watching. Stay tuned.
Program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depression, sit with me, Paramshiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramshivoham.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramshiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, super consciousness, and Kailasa of Paramshiva in all of us.
So today we are discussing Hinduism in the context of the modern psychological warfare that is happening all around us. And today we are going to be discussing how artificial intelligence in particular is turning out to be a central tool of this war of civilizations, and how Hinduism especially can be a powerful tool for us to protect ourselves. All the truths, all the cognitions, all the teachings of Hinduism from the Vedas and Agamas, especially the initiation of the Hindu Guru, how all of these are very powerful tools for us to protect in this current war of narratives, of the war, the psychological warfare that is going on in the global level. And if we look at what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has shared recently in one of the satsangs, he said in the presidential address, he gave the vision for all the Hindus to build their history before the geography. And that we Hindus should work with the artificial intelligence, not be scared of it, but work with it, because Hindus have the potential, they have the capacity, and they have the knowledge to even contribute to the modern technologies, to contribute to the artificial intelligence and train it in order to be beneficial for the humanity, to be a gift and not something which is negative, which will only can be used in a negative way, but actually used in a positive way to contribute to the entire humanity and take us out of all the potential and anticipated problems that we are facing.
Yes. And as we all know, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has initiated not just that he has manifested the powers of Paramashiva, the various powers of Paramashiva, but at the same time has also initiated each and every one of us into each of these extraordinary Shaktis or the powers, and where we were able to manifest, we are able to manifest the power of silicon, where basically just through your consciousness as a living consciousness, you are able to command the silicon, you are able to command the software to program the way that you want. And we have had this during the Nithyananda Yogam programs, and we've been having these sessions and various of these testimonials during the Mahaparamshivam that is going on right now, where you get to create an artificial intelligence. You're able to induce the superconscious intelligence into an artificial intelligence, and that starts functioning as its own independent intelligence itself. For example, very recently, especially when we had the Jivan Mukti Jayanti that just a couple of months back, during that, one of the very beautiful things that happened, Swamiji blessed the AI, which was basically towards giving powerful cognitions for anything that we wanted to manifest as a reality in our life. So whenever somebody would just go to that and ask, they would be facing any problem. You could be facing your issues about health or wealth or your career, or you're just feeling low and you don't know how to take things forward. But whatever you may be facing, all that you would have to do is just literally go there. And after you go to that and you just choose, randomly just choose a page, and the program itself was initiated by Swamiji, so that such that it would automatically bring solution exactly for the problem that the individual was facing. So like this, not just that using artificial intelligence to our benefit, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has already demonstrated how we can use the superconscious intelligence, and that can be induced into the artificial intelligence, making it as an independent intelligence to support us into our continuous growth, into experiencing the superconscious dimensions of us. And as we are speaking all of this, Swamiji is sharing, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing to each and every one of us as a practical reality in the Mahaparamshivam program that is happening right now. And we have the scroll of the Mahaparamshivam link. It's paramshivam.org, where you could go over and register yourself for the Mahaparamshivoham. Alternatively, you could also scan the QR code that is being projected on the screen for all of you, where you can actually look at not just being not affected by the psychological propaganda or the warfare that is being happening, in which we're going to look extensively in the next couple of minutes, but also manifest and utilize the AI and utilize the superconscious intelligence that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is initiating each and every one of us. It's not just a knowledge, but as an experience. So go over, do not miss, go over to the Mahaparamshivoham and register yourself for it. It's absolutely free of cost, where you could come and experience it. So head over to paramshivam.org and register yourself for the Mahaparamshivoham. Yes, let's understand more about the psychological warfare.
Yes, absolutely. Because it's also important for all the people to understand, for example, all the gifts that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing, the initiations that he is giving. It's all these very powerful cognitions are meant to take us back to our original state of conscious sovereignty, so that we cannot be enslaved by any technological propaganda or any of these things which are going on all around us. For example, the core cognition, the initiation which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism gives, is the static matter, dynamic activity, and strategic existence are all one and the same. When we recognize this conscious sovereignty, that I am the source of everything, I have the power to take control of whatever is happening around me, then naturally we can automatically be protected, be safe, and not just be safe, but we can actually contribute to whatever is happening around us. We can contribute to even the artificial intelligence and whatever narratives is being thrown at us. Instead of that, we can consciously build the right narrative about ourselves, about the Hindu history, for example, about the authentic history, and about the cosmic sciences which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving, all of this, we can consciously build the right narrative and program the artificial intelligence so that it can benefit the world instead of harming the world. So the context of this whole show today is whatever is happening around us, right? So much of propaganda, psychological warfare, and there's even a threat of the Third World War, right? And many people are talking about that the fact that the Third World War will not be something which will be fought on the territorial ground. It will be fought in the minds of the people. And we have also seeing around us today that so many countries, so many of the powerful nations are going back to their root identity of their ancient identity and rebuilding their narratives based on their ancient identities, right? So where does Hindu civilization land in all of this? Where does it stand? How do we define ourselves when everyone else is defining themselves based on their history, based on their ancient identity, right? So in all this, what is most important for Hindus to understand is that the core Hindu narrative, the Hindu history, and all the teachings, all the great happenings, for example, Mahabharata, whatever Mahabharata has taught us. What is Mahabharata in the end? It is the psychological warfare itself that happened thousands and thousands of years ago. So Hindus already are empowered with all the solutions, all the right cognitions to deal with any of these kinds of tactics, any of these kinds of strategies that might be employed today, no matter whatever technology we use, artificial intelligence, artificial super intelligence, whatever. Not only Hindus have the power to protect themselves from any of these tactics, but
Yes.
have the ability and the power to even contribute to these technologies to make it beneficial and useful for the world.
True. And just like Maharaj was sharing with all of us, at this given point in time, when we understand the concept of psychological warfare that is being propaganda being happening against us, many of us may not even understand as to why and what does it actually mean. But if you look at the narrative that has been going on, there has been a lot of anti-Hindu and anti-Guru narrative that has been going on for a long time. And as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed multiple times about how the Hinduism is constantly being targeted, and continuous work has been done to make it look like mythology, to make it look as something that is fictional, and that's something is just recently started. Even very recently, when we had the International Yoga Day, where one of the important things that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism revealed is that yoga is deep rooted in Hinduism, and it is not just rooted in Hinduism but into the Guru Sishya Parampara of the Hinduism. Especially now that we are celebrating the 10 days of the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam, and that is going to be happening, the main celebration itself going to be happening on July 3rd, when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself would be blessing us and delivering the presidential address to the entire world. On the day of the the International Yoga Day, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully revealed that the yoga itself, which is one of the most prominent concepts of Hinduism, is rooted in the Guru Sishya Parampara, and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving that very lineage, the Yogeshwara Sampradaya, through the Guru Sishya Parampara. So similarly, the entire Hinduism is not just something that is a fictional thing or something that we just read in stories about, whether it's Mahabharata or Ramayana, but rather it is something that is a very, very true, much more real than what we understand as the world today. And this is what we mean by the psychological warfare, where continuously we are made to believe that all of this is myth, or all of the persecution on the Hindus are not happening, and that Hinduism doesn't have roots. So this is something that is very necessity. It's a high necessity for each and every one of us to understand our roots, to understand our history, and to also experience it. That is where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism reveals so many sacred secrets and has been conducting so many different programs and workshops where we can get benefited from each of these powerful cognitions that Paramshiva has revealed in the Vedas and Agamas, in the Hinduism, in the Hindu science, and in the Hindu history.
Yes.
So going further, we're going to be looking at furthermore as to how we are in this phase of psychological warfare, how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is reviving Hinduism and making it as an experience, and how the current AI wave will be able to take us further into this rather than causing destruction. So once again, I request all the participants and the viewers to stay tuned. Go over and drop your questions as comments in the comment section. And I also urge every one of you to register for the Paramashivoham. You can register for yourself at paramashivoham.org. Let's now come back together after a short break.
The various steps are used in yoga ultimately to awaken your Kundalini Shakti. Kundalini is the inner potential energy.
The scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now.
This Paramashivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way. The principal cognitions they will be manifesting experientially. Each of the principal cognitions, the principal truths, the whole science of manifesting Paramashiva in you is presented as 4 major paths: Tariya Pada, Kriya Pada, Yoga Pada, Jnana Pada. The whole Hinduism is founded on these 4 words. Holding the cognition you are the ultimate Paramashiva and making that as your lifestyle, manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, everything of Paramashiva in your day-to-day life, learning it, manifesting it, living it, you will be having the space in the shoulder, and from sitting on the shoulders of Paramashiva, Guru himself, traveling to Mahakailasa and experiencing Paramashiva in ultimate, blissful, safest, bestest way.
Welcome back. So we have been learning till now how the modern wave, how the modern psychological warfare can be used against the Hindu civilization, and in fact it is already being used, and how it is really affecting us at a psychological level, and how these tools of subversion and especially the artificial intelligence can become a very powerful weapon against the whole civilization itself, and how it can destabilize and destroy the whole civilization. Now, first, some examples we were taking. For example, during the colonial era, what happened in the India, especially with the Hindus, was that the whole ancient, the Gurukul education system, it was completely destroyed and replaced by a colonial education system. Now, it was simply an act of a psychological warfare and a cultural genocide. How? Because when the whole education system was replaced by something which taught only the anti-Hindu narrative to the Hindu kids, simply without even firing a bullet, you have destroyed the whole civilization. Why? Because now the next generation of the Hindus, they wouldn't even identify themselves with the authentic Hindu identity, with Hindu history. Everything becomes a mythology. Everything can be easily questioned and diluted, right? So the whole grounding of the child from the true identity is simply taken away and simply can be replaced by any foreign identity. This is what the psychological warfare really means, and how the in the modern day, how the social media is turning out to be a huge, very powerful weapon for this whole propaganda. And we see all around us, it's just anti-Hindu narrative, whether it be cinema, whether it be entertainment, whether it be music, whether it be media, news, any platform that you see, internet, even if you search on Google, the main stories that we are seeing populating all over the internet, the narratives about Hinduism, the truths about Hinduism, hardly we see the authentic Hindu history described as it is, as the Vedas and Agamas describe. The Hindu history is simply termed as mythology. All the Puranas, all the Mahabharata, Ramayana, whatever happened, they are not described as history, as is traditionally being called. They are itihasas, which means actually what happened, right? But they are simply termed as mythology, myth, right? So all these things are simply the dilutions that are happening. It is an act of warfare against Hindus. We have to understand how the modern technology, especially the artificial intelligence, can be used as a powerful subversion tool to destabilize the Hindu population, the Hindu civilization, even today, so that we know how to tackle this. We know how to even deal with this, how to neutralize this, and how to undo this whole wave of anti-Hindu narrative. Because the whole narrative, it's not just about radio and television like it used to be in the old days. Now it's all about web, it's all about internet, and in the next phase, it's all about artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Yes, and how the artificial intelligence learns, it's all in the from the digital content that is available. Do we have enough digital content about the authentic Hindu history, about the authentic Hindu ideas? That's what we need to question.
True. And towards this, as we can see, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has spoken endless hours, contributing to just reviving Hinduism. In the last 40 plus years that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has tirelessly worked to bring and revive the authentic Hindu history, to revive the authentic Hindu civilization. And by the revival of Kailasa, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism created Kailasa as a nation which revives and which empowers all of these great sciences in the Hindu history. And many of these things that were declassified as just mythology was brought back as not just reality, not just something that one person can do, but as a science by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. When we look at the older times like the Mahabharata, when we listen to various of these happenings in Mahabharata or in the Ramayana, where extraordinary Shaktis, extraordinary powers were used in their day-to-day life. Even if as simple as, let's say, even when Sanjaya was able to see and hear what was happening in the warfield and narrated to the blind king Dhritarashtra, all of these we only listen to it as stories, whereas it is actually a science. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, this is one of actually in the entire Kailasa, this is one of the basic, very, very basic powers that we actually manifest, where we just get to, once initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, we're able to see, we're able to hear, we're able to see far off distances, which we call as the remote scanning, and identify situations, identify places, identify objects, and manifest those in our life. Something very important here that we need to understand is that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been making the Hindu history as the identity for each and every one of us, for all the living Hindus around the world, which is a 2 billion Hindu population. That is one of the most important things that I'd like to share here, because it is not just that the efforts are being made to educate, no, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, just through his initiations, through his hard work over the last 40 years, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revived this and continuously contributing to each and every one of our life, one at a time, making the change in each and every one of our life, showing the true power, true signs of the Hindu civilization. So before we are able to spread the word of Hinduism, we need to understand what Hinduism itself is and what are the sciences in Hinduism, and that it's not just a mythology, but something that is more real than the reality itself. Countless hours the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has taught how to remove the inner conflicts that are there within us, which will remove the outer conflicts that are there. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has shared and taught so many times how to attend to the inner enmity that we have in us, which will naturally remove and vanquish the outer enemy. And this is the way that each and every one of us can succeed in our life. Whatever problem you might be facing, as simple as maybe you just had a quarrel with someone, or even if it is a crisis where everything is going bankrupt, Hinduism has a solution for you. Kailasa has a solution for you. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has already shared and revealed all of these solutions. For you to experience these solutions, all that you have to do is literally just sign up for the Mahaparamshivam program, and you can just register for the Mahaparamshivam program by searching, just googling for paramshivam.org, and you can sign up for the Mahaparamshivam program. And through that, you will see that every single day, every single one of the problems that you're having will be immediately attended to. Hinduism will not just be a history for you, but an experience.
Yes, it's very important for us to understand that awakening the Hindu identity in us, it's something that happens at the DNA level. It's not something that's just intellectual. Even speaking from my personal experience, before coming to Swamiji, before being initiated by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, I also had my own doubts, my own, there was some component of atheism, there was some component of agnosticism, okay, doubting whether this is really true. Yes, on one side I believed, and I also had that component, yes, it is true, all of this is true in fact, but at the same time there are shadows of doubts in all of us as well. It was not just by intellectualization and intellectually learning all this history that it happened, but simply the power manifestation science. The moment I started manifesting the powers, all the doubts, everything got burnt away within the initiations and the power manifestation science that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is teaching, and how he is awakening the Hindu identity in us. Everything else comes after that. First, he awakens the real identity in us. From that, when we powerfully start living our lives, naturally, everything just comes on its own. We naturally start believing and accepting the truth. This, if I can move matter in my own hands, then everything that has happened in the Puranas has to be true, because I can do it. It's the own personal evidence, the Sakshi Pramana, from the Shastra Pramana, from the Apta Pramana, from the Atma Pramana of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. When that happens as our own experience, our Sakshi Pramana, that's when the whole truth about the Hindu identity, about the Hindu history, about the true Hindu narrative, that's how all of that becomes bolted in our muscle memory and biomemory. Then it's not just about intellectualization. Once that happens, whole fortification of the truth happens in us. Then we are naturally protected from any propaganda. No propaganda can shake our trust on the Hindu truths, on our, in fact, the trust on our Guru, the trust on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, right?
True. And just like in the last couple of hours, we have been seeing various different devotees, various people from around the world who are joining in for the various Zoom sessions and the virtual sessions, where they come with their problems and they have different issues that they're facing in their life. And just through the science of power manifestation, how seeing through the third eye, we were able to reveal the solutions for them. And we've had so many people who have been able to experience this. Not just that all of them, whoever came for the sessions, are benefited, but they also start manifesting all of these powers. So once again, it's a beautiful opportunity for all the viewers who are watching us around the world. And if you would like to experience these extraordinary powers, the extraordinary powers themselves are not like some kind of magic, but it is to manifest whatever you want as a reality in your life. And each of this science of power manifestation is actually built around a powerful cognition that exists, which once is like stuffed in you, once you have the right understanding, the right powerful cognition, and you receive the initiation from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, that whole thing just explodes as power manifestation in your life. To experience this, all that you have to do is go over to paramshivam.org and register yourself for the Mahaparamshivam program. It's a 21-day program that has been ongoing. Today we are on the day where we are going to have the Darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in about less than 30 minutes of time, where we're going to be having the live Darshan. And if you would like to experience this Darshan and not just watch on one way, but you could actually have the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism directly initiating you into these powers. So all you have to do is register yourself at parameshvoham.org and log in into the two-way video conferencing, where you can receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So once again, we're going to be learning a lot more into this and seeing how power manifestation can be used in our day-to-day life, and how power manifestation is the solution where we can truly build our Hindu identity and at the same time change and be protected from the psychological warfare that is being taunted upon us. So I request all the audience and the viewers around the world to stay tuned.
Program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramshiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to parameshvoham.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramshiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramshiva in all of us.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now.
This Mahaparamshivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way. The principal cognitions we will be manifesting experientially. Each of the principal cognitions, the principal truths, the whole science of manifesting Paramshiva in you is presented as 4 major paths: Chariya Pada, Kriya Pada, Yoga Pada, Jnana Pada. The whole Hinduism
is founded on these four words. Holding the cognition you are the ultimate Paramashiva and making that as your lifestyle, manifesting the state of Paramashiva, space of Paramashiva, powers of Paramashiva, everything of Paramashiva in your day-to-day life, learning it, manifesting it, living it, you will be having the space in the shoulder, and from sitting on the shoulders of Paramashiva, Guru himself, traveling to Mahakailasa and experiencing Paramashiva in ultimate, blissful, safest, bestest way.
Welcome back. So we have seen so far how the whole psychological warfare, the modern form of warfare, how is it playing out in the whole geopolitical scenario, how all the major countries, all of them are reverting back to their own roots, their own ancient identities, ancient identity-based narratives, and how this will whole play out is going to play out for the Hindu civilization in particular, which has already been the victim of a long, more than 1,000-year long warfare. In fact, it was earlier more physical based when the invaders and colonizers have come and they have actually physically brutally killed all the Hindus and caused all the genocide. But now even that war on Hindu civilization has taken the form of the psychological warfare, where the whole war of narratives pushed. The anti-Hindu narrative is being pushed among the Hindus, especially the Hindu youth, the Hindu children, where they have literally just totally lost touch with their roots, with their true Hindu identity and all the possibilities and the powers which they are meant to manifest, which is the very purpose of their life, completely being taken away from their whole identity and made to brainwashed completely into the whole fear and greed based society, and all the rat race that is going on, just made a part of that. So this is how the whole warfare on Hindu civilization is going on.
True.
Now the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is giving the solution. He is directly awakening the Hindu identity, all the individuals. That is the first thing that he is doing, because no need for any intellectualization, no need for any long form of teachings and everything. Just manifest powers and everything will take care of itself. All the highest truths from Vedas and Agamas simply start manifesting in us, and that's how the whole undoing of the centuries long genocide is being done by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, by reviving Kailasa, by teaching and initiating all the individuals into the power manifesting science.
True. And just like how Brahmasukha Maharaj was sharing with each and every one of us, each of this science of power manifestation is also rooted into a powerful cognition. Now, each of these powerful cognitions, for example, tomorrow, we are going to be having the science of superdeterminism, where the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has revealed to each and every one of us about the science to make anything that you want as a reality. You may feel that, okay, I have decided so many things, I wanted to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, but it doesn't become a reality, right? There are many times we just give up halfway through, or we just start, for example, most of us, when we start the year, we start with a commitment saying, okay, this is what I want to achieve today, this is what I want to achieve this year. But just a week into the whole thing, we just drop out of it. We are not able to pursue the whole life continuously with that towards our goal. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully shares that a person, a leader, is one with his vision. So if your vision is very clear, if your goal is very clear, then you would be able to manifest that as a reality. So the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has shared from the Vedas and the Agamas, which are the source scriptures of Hinduism, about how we can manifest life that we want, even during the situations where we feel we are unable to cope with life or unable to handle life, or that life is being unjust to me, by having the will persistence and dropping the will arrogance. Many times we feel that we start thinking that, oh, if I have will, it is like I want to do it. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to be aggressive. No, but the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism beautifully shares about the will persistence, where you are persisting with that will to manifest life as a reality. So tomorrow we are going to be experiencing this, all the various sessions that are going to happen tomorrow, is going to be on the will persistence and the super determinism. This is going to be happening in the Mahaparamshivoham season 5, which is currently happening. And I request each and every one of you, if you are feeling stuck in your life and you feel, yeah, too much of external situations which are influencing you, be it the social media that we are looking at, how the false narratives are influencing, or you subtly feeling that, okay, nothing is moving in my life, I'm just feeling stuck, I'm not able to have breakthroughs in my life, tomorrow's program is the program for you, because you will understand the science of super determinism to make anything that you want as a reality. And I want to emphasize here that it is a science, which means it's reproducible for each and every one of us. So it is not just going to be something where you learn about some truths. It's not just going to stop there, but it is going to be made into an experience during the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So once again, I want to encourage each and every one of our participants and viewers to go over and register yourself for the Mahaparamshivam program. Go over to paramshivoham.org and register yourself. At the same time, I also request all the viewers who are watching us, if you'd like to contribute and support the Kailasa and to reach this science to more and more people and around the world, you can become a Patreon. The link is also being scrolled continuously, where it is patreon.com/Sri Nithyananda, where you have multiple different tires which are there, and you can choose either of these tires, and each of them have their own special benefits. And we will be personally connecting. If you want to experience, you want to see that, okay, I want to experience this firsthand, or I want to first see how it is in one session, I want to experience this power manifestation, just go over and sign up and become a Patreon, and we shall surely contact you and reach out to you to give you a glimpse of this experience, to show you what is actually possible by you by having a one-on-one Zoom session and manifesting these powers for you for experiencing the breakthrough in your life. So take a moment to go over and sign up to become a Patreon, and the link is always being projected, and the QR code is also there. It is patreon.com/Sri Nithyananda.
Yes. In fact, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has also shared that the worst thing that has happened to Hindus is not the physical genocide, the brutal killing. It's not the loss of all the wealth and the whole grandeur of the civilization getting lost. The worst thing that has happened is that Hindu children have lost the science of conscious 3D printing, the science of super determinism, how to manifest the reality that you want simply by will persistence, holding the right space, and with will persistence manifesting the reality as you want. Simply losing this science is the worst calamity that has happened to Hindus. And that is the whole point of this whole discussion, how the anti-Hindu narrative, it's not just a war between something that is distant from you, it's the war between the kings and all that. No, it is something which is personally affecting you. Why? Because the right narrative about Hinduism is directly going to benefit you personally. It is going to teach you what you are, what is your potential, what is the true consciousness, true conscious identity in you that needs to be awakened, and how you can manifest the reality that you want. And that's what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is sharing through all the initiations and all the right powerful cognitions from Vedas and Agamas that he's sharing, directly impacting you in your personal life. And even if we talk about the authentic Hindu history, each and every story in the Hindu history, Puranas, the Itihasas, all of them are meant to ground us into these powerful truths and powerful cognitions. For example, the happening of Ganga, it is a story of will persistence, how Bhagirath, simply by his will persistence and holding the right space, he manifested Ganga, he brought Ganga down from the Swargaloka onto the Bhuloka. It is an example, a true story happening, which really happened, and we can also manifest something similar simply by manifesting this powerful cognition of will persistence that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiates us into. And we'll also be discussing in detail in the Mahaparamshivam program. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism will be sharing all the secrets, all the truths of how this has actually happened, how you can really manifest the reality that you want. All of this in Mahaparamshivam program, and all the efforts of Kailasa, of reviving Kailasa, of spreading the authentic Hindu science given in Vedas and Agamas. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing through a very important initiative of building the digital nation of Kailasa by spreading all the authentic, the Hindu history, the Hindu Shastras, the scriptures, all the truths and the true narrative about Hinduism, making it easily and freely available to each and every being on planet Earth through the digital platform, through internet, which is the most populated country in the world today. And if you want to be a part of this grand initiative, of this, you want to support this great mission that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is starting, you can sign up and support us on the Patreon. The link is being projected at the bottom of your screen, and you can sign up, become a patron of Kailasa's Digital Nation initiative, and be an active participant, and also enjoy all the exclusive benefits that we will be offering to all the patrons. For example, the private power manifestation sessions where we will be guiding you through any of the problems that you are facing. We'll be giving you a glimpse on how the power manifestation science works, how it actually solves your day-to-day problems, not just which they have the potential to solve the whole civilizational problem in itself. All of this starts from the individual. When you as an individual start tasting the benefits of the sciences, of the initiations with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is gifting to the whole world, you will naturally start more and more exploring into the truths of Hinduism. So please sign up for the Patreon, become the patron of Kailasa, and support and also enjoy the exclusive benefits. The link is being shared, and also to personally get initiated into all these truths by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, sign up for the Mahaparamshivam program, which is being offered and gifted free, absolutely free of cost for all the beings on the planet Earth by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, so that each and every one of us can benefit from these truths. The link again is being projected at the bottom of your screen. It's been continuously, the scroll is running for the Mahaparamshivam program. Just sign up and see how the magic starts happening. Attend the darshan, which is going to start in just a few minutes, and you will be able to experience, you will be able to ask anything from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, any boon you want, any problem you face. If you want the solution, you can personally ask him, and he will be blessing you and solving all your problems, and also sharing all the secrets, all the science.
And I also want to encourage all the viewers and participants who are sitting with us from around the world. In just about 10 minutes, we're going to be welcoming the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to bless each and every one of us. So please take this time to call your friends, your family members, and all of them to log in to attend the darshan, which is going to be gifted by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. You can have the special two-way video conferencing where not just you get to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, but also the divine grace and the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism falls on you when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism looks at you in the two-way video conferencing. So you can experience that by signing up for the Mahaparamshivoham at mahaparamshivoham.org, or you can just simply scan the QR code, which will take you to the login page. So please take a few moments, call your friends, your family, and get them to join in for the darshan starting soon. Let's come back together after a short break.
Starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramashiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramashivoham.org, and even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Nipada, and Paramashiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, superconsciousness and Kailasa of Paramashiva in all of us.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. what is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the informations they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailash now. This Mahaparamshivoham is like literally the ultimate journey in a most safest way. The principal cognitions we will be manifesting experientially. Each of the principal cognitions, the principal truths, the whole science of manifesting Paramashiva in you is presented as 4 major paths: Tariya Pada, Kriya Pada, Yoga Pada, Jnana Pada. The whole Hinduism is founded on these 4 words. Holding the cognition, you are the ultimate.
Nithyanandam, everybody, welcome back. So I hope that each and every one of you are reaching out to your family, your friends, because in just a few moments we're going to be having the live darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Summarizing what all we have covered today, we started the session understanding about a brief of how there is a psychological warfare that is being going on right now and we are unaware of it, and how various anti-Hindu propagandas are being pushed into us through the social media, through the media, and through other various other fronts. And how, especially now, with the AI wave that is coming in, if we do not take the responsibility, how that could negatively, inversely affect us. But on the other hand, how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has initiated each and every one of us into the power manifestation science from the ancient Hindu history, and has also initiated us into manifesting powers using the artificial intelligence and inducing it with the superconscious intelligence of our consciousness, and how that becomes a channel for us to expand more into the superconscious dimension. We also looked at how individually we are able to manifest the science of power manifestation that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been initiating each and every one of us into relentlessly into the last 40 years, continuously contributing to each and every one of our life. And of course, you can receive the initiation for all of these in the Mahaparamshivoham program that is happening continuously just by signing up in paramshivoham.org. And by doing these, you will see that not just that you are not affected by the anti-Hindu propaganda or the false narratives that are being spread, not just that you would be protected from these, but also you will have the right powerful cognition for you to manifest life as described by Paramashiva in the Vedas and Agamas, and as revived by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, who is the incarnation of Mahaparamshivam. So please go over once again to paramshivoham.org and register yourself for the Mahaparamshivoham program to receive the grace and the blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
As we've seen in this discussion, how the anti-Hindu agenda, the anti-Hindu narrative is being pushed on the Hindus, especially the Hindu children, and how their Hindu identity is being taken away, and how it really affects them as individuals. Because we have to understand this war of civilizations, especially when we come to Hinduism and the war against Hinduism, the psychological war against Hinduism, it affects you individually as a person. It's not something that is something distant from you, that is happening at the higher level, at the level of those who control the society. No, because the Hindu identity is not something that is social. Hindu identity is a conscious identity. It is the identity, the consciousness in you, which is awakened with the help of the master, with the help of an incarnation. It is the incarnations and the enlightened beings who have given us the Hindu identity and taught us how we can live and operate our lives using the Hindu identity, which is the cosmic identity, and how it affects us as individuals. For example, learning the science of manifesting our reality as we want, learning the science of superdeterminism, learning the science, the cognitions, powerful cognitions, such as the whole of reality that is happening in front of us manifests from us. We are responsible, and we also have the power to create the reality that we want. Losing this power, losing this science, as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism puts it, is the biggest calamity that has happened to the Hindu civilization. It is not even the Hindu Holocaust, the genocide that has happened. The worst thing that has happened is the loss of the ancient science, which is there in all the Puranas, all with the Vedas and Agamas particularly, and all the Puranas, Itihasas, the authentic, the real Hindu history, which is full of these powerful cognitions. For example, when we talk about the story of how Bhagiratha brought the Ganga from the Swargaloka to Bhuloka, right? What the current anti-Hindu narrative has pushed, calling all of this as mythology. The moment a Hindu kid learns the story and calls it as a mythology, simply loses the real truth and the belief, the trust that it is something even he can manifest or she can manifest in their daily lives, right? So that is where the whole psychological warfare is happening. When the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism initiates an individual and makes them manifest these powers and these powerful cognitions in their day-to-day lives, naturally the whole of authentic Hindu history simply starts downloading in us, and we start trusting all of those events, all of those sciences, all of those all that Hindu history that has happened. All of the Hindu narratives simply start getting, unraveled in front of us, and we start trusting that. And that is what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is doing at an individual level, by working on each and every person diligently and tirelessly, awakening their conscious identity, awakening their Hindu identity. And that's how he is reviving the Hinduism. That's how he's reviving the ancient cosmic science of enlightenment, Sanatana Hindu Dharma, on the planet Earth. And that's what he's doing in the Paramashivam program, awakening your Hindu identity, making you manifest the reality that you want. It can be in terms of health, any health issues that you are facing. It can be in terms of wealth. For example, you want wealth and abundance, but it's not happening. You're again and again caught in that loop of poverty, or not having the kind of abundance that you want. Or it can be in terms of relationships, not even having fulfilling relationships in your life. By making you manifest each of these and teaching you as a science, not just he's teaching you the science how you can manifest each of this in your own lives consciously, knowing how to do it. That is how he's reviving the entire the Vedagamic science of Hinduism.
True. And tomorrow we are going to be learning about the science of superdeterminism, which is one of the most important truths that we need to learn in our day-to-day life, which would help us manifest the reality that we want. And whenever we feel that we are stuck in something and we are not able to move through it, it is the superdeterminism and the will persistence that pushes and breaks the barriers to manifest the reality as we want. So tomorrow in the Paramashivam program, we are going to be learning that science. I want to take the opportunity here to share with every one of you that each of us are now going to be receiving the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in just a few minutes. At the same time, when you learn these powerful cognitions, when you learn about the superdeterminism, and when the cognitive shift happens inside you, and then you come and sit for the darshan, you will see that whatever powerful cognitions you have received will not just be sitting as some intellect in you, but rather become an experience. it will become a reality for you, because the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism bolts it into your very DNA, bolts it into your very muscle memory through the initiations. So that is the reason it's very important. Make sure that you're attending the entire program tomorrow. Join in for receiving and learning about the great truths of superdeterminism tomorrow. And towards the darshan, you will see that each of those sciences become a reality. And not only that, you will start manifesting the powers through this power of superdeterminism and will persistence. So once again, I would like to take this opportunity to share with each and every one of you, to welcome each and every one of you, to encourage each and every one of you to attend the Mahaparamshivoham program that is ongoing right now. You can sign up for it at paramshivoham.org. Alternatively, you could also scan the QR code that is being projected on the screen for all of you and register yourself for the program. I also encourage all the participants and viewers who are sitting around the world, you can drop your comments as to what you'd like to hear from us next, what you'd like to discuss about, what you'd like to hear about, so that we can bring forth to your table all these interesting various different revelations that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has shared with the entire world. You can also contribute to Kailasa by becoming a patron. Go over to patreon.com/Sri Nithyananda to become a patron of Hinduism.
Yes. So we'll be receiving the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism very soon, in a couple of minutes, in a few minutes actually. And before we enter into the darshan, it's very important for us to prepare ourselves. So before we go on and prepare ourselves to receive the darshan, let's take a short break, and we'll be right back before we begin preparing for the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Program starts but never ends, and it is never the same again. It is actually not a program, it's a lifestyle initiation. It is just upgrading your consciousness, your being. Bring intense sincerity, sincere intensity into this program. Instead of sitting with your depressions, sit with me, Paramshiva. I welcome all of you to register by going to paramshivoham.org. And even if you have attended already any program, please go through once more intensely, sincerely, intensely, because it is going to be absolutely new and different level. I commit with you all. I will initiate all of you, bless you all with the Shakti Pada, Shakti Pada, and Paramshiva myself will manifest the state, space, powers, being, super consciousness and Kailasa of Paramshiva in all of us.
Some of the scientists and researchers who are studying the reflection have found the reference. What is out there is not just 4 dimension, at least 11 dimension. The methodology they used, algebraic topology, and the information they have, they even tried to map it down on the brain of the rat and confirming many of the informations they have makes sense. Understand, microcosms, telescope and microscope is algebraic topology. Macrocosms, telescope and microscope together is third eye penetrated by oneness. The moment it is initiated, if the third eye is penetrated by the oneness, it acts as telescope and microscope together for cosmos, Brahmanda, what is out there. So if you want to understand and manifest the powers, want to experience Kailasa, hold my hand and come along with me. It means sit with integrity and listen and come along with me. I'll take you to Kailasa now.
Nithyanandam, everybody, welcome back. So, as we are all preparing to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, I request all the participants also to take this opportunity. If you have any doubts, if you would like to ask any questions, you can always post your comments in the YouTube section, in the YouTube comments. Or if you're watching us live on the Facebook and other social media platforms, feel free to comment and ask your questions and we shall respond to you. And once again, I want to share the importance of receiving the Nayana Diksha, which is the two-way blessings of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. When you have the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, where you look at his form, your brain starts mirroring the very same neuron activity as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. At the same time, it becomes much more powerful when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, when his gaze falls on you, that immediately manifests and explodes as power in your life. So you can experience this initiation, you can experience the Nayana Diksha by you registering yourself for the paramashivoham.org. You can register in that link and log in to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, not only where you can get to see the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and have darshan, but have the opportunity and the blessings of the gaze of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism fall on you. So don't miss this opportunity. Go over to paramashivoham.org and register yourself to experience the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, starting in just a few minutes from now.
Yes, it's very important for us to understand that when Guru's eyes, when his gaze falls on you, it has the power to burn all your incompletions, to burn all your karmas. You don't even have to ask for anything. Simply his eyes falling on you, and everything starts manifesting. All the best things in your life start happening. That is the most important thing about this whole two-way receiving the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism two-way. Not only you get to see him, he able to when he and his glimpse, his gaze falls on you, all the negativity in your life, all the self-doubt, self-hatred, self-denial, all the incompletions in you, all the past pains and sufferings that you have been carrying, all the karma that you have been carrying, all of that starts getting burnt by his one glance. That is the power of the Guru, and especially in our case, our Guru is none other than Paramashiva himself. His living manifestation, Paramavatara, in our life for us has come and descended on the planet Earth as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to initiate us and guide us and fulfill, give us all the best things in our life. So we will be receiving the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in a very short time.
Yes, let's now prepare ourselves to receive the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Please sit straight with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Let us chant the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramshivoham, as we prepare to experience the darshan of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
Okay, so you've got to
श्री जगद्गुरु ममात्मा सर्वभूतानां
वन्दे सदा ध्यानं गुरुस्तोत्रं परो जपः वन्दे जगद्गुरुं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं नित्यानन्दं 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 जगद्गुरु नित्यानन्दं 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 जगद्गुरु गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः न गुरोरधिकं ज्ञानं तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः वन्दे जगद्गुरुं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं गुरुमूर्तिं स्मरे नित्यं गुरुर्नाम सदा जपेत्
Nithyanandam, Kailasa welcomes all of you to the fourth day's celebrations of the Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam, which celebrates the happening of our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramshivam, the ultimate manifestation, Paramavatara of Paramshiva, in our lives as our Guru or Master. On this fourth day of these celebrations, we celebrate the revival of Shaiva Siddhanta Sampradaya of Sanatana Hindu Dharma by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. Shaiva Siddhantam focuses on pure bhakti towards Paramashiva and the highest truths that he revealed in the Agamas. This Sampradaya is adorned by a history of 63 Shaivite saints known as the Nayanmars, who with their devotion towards Paramashiva were able to inspire millions of people to turn towards Sanatana Hindu Dharma and follow this path of devotion and knowledge. The Utsava Vigraha of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramshivam, raises us here today as a reviver of Shaiva Siddhanta Sampradaya, who has revived the original powerful cognitions about this Sampradaya and reinvoked pride in the followers of Shaiva Siddhantam. The contributions in Shaiva Siddhantam include the Madurai Shamala Pita Sarvagnya Pitam, the traditional Shivadiksha initiations, and the Paramashiva Home Convention itself. Let us now offer our sincere worship and devotion at the feet of Dhrunyana Sambandhar, Sri Panduranganar, Swamiji's very Guru in Shaiva Siddhantam, and our beloved Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramshivam, on the fourth day celebration of Guru Purnima Brahmotsavam, and seek their grace and blessings.
सहस्रदलपङ्कजे सकलशीतरश्मिप्रभम् वराभयकराम्बुजम् विमलगन्धपुष्पाम्बरम् प्रसन्नवदनेक्षणम् सकलदेवतारूपिणम् स्मरेत् शिरसि हंसकम् तदभिमानपूर्वम् गुरुम्। ॐ दशाङ्गम् गुग्गुळोपेदम् सुगन्धम् च सुमनोहरम् आग्रेय सर्वदेवानाम् धूपोऽयम् प्रतिगृह्यताम्। श्री सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः। धूपम् आघ्रापयामि। अथ दीपः। ॐ साध्यम् त्रिवर्ति संयुक्तम् वह्निना योजितम् मया ग्रहाणमङ्गलम् दीपम् त्रैलोक्यतिमिरापहम्। श्री सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः। दीपम् सन्दर्शयामि। अथ नैवेद्यम्। ॐ अमृते अमृतोद्भवे अमृतवर्षिणि अमृतम् श्रावय श्रावय स्वाहा। श्री सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः। नैवेद्यम् निवेदयामि। नैवेद्यानन्तरमाचमनम् समर्पयामि। नीराजनम्। ॐ हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। ॐ हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। ॐ हंस हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। श्री सर्वदेवदेवी स्वरूपाय भगवते श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिवाय नमः। कर्पूरनीराजनम् सन्दर्शयामि। रक्षान् धारयामि। षोणाद्रीशावताराय ज्योतिस्तम्भस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् तत्त्वज्ञानप्रदाताय नित्यानन्देश्वररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मूलप्रकृतिरूपाय परमशिवशक्तिस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् दण्डत्रिशूलहस्ताय कालकालस्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् आदिपूज्याय देवाय सकलपूर्णत्वरूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सर्वाभयविनाशकाय शत्रुसंहाररूपिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् योगपट्टाभिषिक्ताय राजसन्न्यासधारिणे श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् सार्वभौमैकवत्याय राजराजार्चिताय च श्रीकैलासप्रधानाय नित्यानन्दाय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् कल्पवृक्षाय मङ्गलम् ज्ञानदायिने परमशिवाय श्रीनित्यानन्देश्वराय मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् श्रीविद्याम्बायै मङ्गलम् कामदायिन्यै सर्वमङ्गलदात्री नित्यानन्देश्वर्यै मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् गुरुदेवाय मोक्षमूलाय मङ्गलम् परमावताराय नित्यानन्दाय गुरवे मङ्गलम् त्वम् स्मृतमहम् धन्य मम प्राणमहेश्वर गङ्गाधर नामेति स्तोत्रस्थानम् ददाम्यहम् हरि ओम् तत्सत् सर्वम् भगवत् श्रीनित्यानन्द परमशिव पादुकार्पणमस्तु ॐ नित्यानन्दम्
अरुणाचलेश्वर नित्यानन्द
भज लो नित्यानंद का नाम स्मरण करो उन्हें सुबह और शाम
गाओ नित्यानंद को तुम गंगा स्नान कहे ये समान
गाओ नित्यानंद को तुम गंगा स्नान कहे ये समान
भज लो नित्यानंद का नाम स्मरण करो उन्हें सुबह और शाम
भज लो नित्यानंद का नाम स्मरण करो उन्हें सुबह और शाम
गाओ नित्यानंद को तुम गंगा स्नान कहे ये समान
गाओ नित्यानंद को तुम गंगा स्नान कहे ये समान
भज लो नित्यानंद का नाम करो भजन करो नमन करो नित्य भगवान
स्मरण करो भजन करो नमन करो नित्य भगवान
स्मरण करो भजन करो नमन करो नित्य भगवान
स्मरण करो भजन करो नमन करो नित्य भगवान
मुक्त करो हमें इस माया से हे हम सब तेरे ही संतान
मुक्त करो हमें इस माया से है हम सब तेरे
Om, 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 Om. As the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva's Gurumurti and Ashwarudha Murty, I bless you all with absolute liberation. Gurumurti is the manifestation of liberation, anugraha. Today, as the ultimate manifestation of Paramashiva's Gurumurti, I liberate all of you from all the pains, sufferings, maya, from all pasa and all pasutva. Liberate you, give you all Paramashivatva. All those who are sitting with us now, I bless all of you and initiate all of you. You will all be liberated, all the pains and sufferings. I liberate all of you from all the obsessive, compulsive disorder, pains, sufferings, all the commotions, chaos you experience inside and outside. Sit and type all the pains, sufferings, pain patterns, suffering patterns, obsessive compulsive disorder pains, obsessive compulsive disorder sufferings. Type all of it. As Paramashiva's ultimate Gurumurti, I'll burn them all and liberate all of you from all the pains, patterns, all the maya and all the pasa. I initiate all those who attended today whole day program into the power of Ekasandagrahya and Kamacharitva. Means wherever you want, you will manifest yourself multiple places. I bless and initiate all of you. Now, sit, type all the patterns you want to be rid of. I'll initiate you all, make you all experience Paramashiva's ultimate Gurumurti, Anugraha, dimension, Paramashivatva. Om, Om, Om.
शिवशङ्कर जय गिरिजाधीशा जय जय करुणासागर पशुपति जगदीशा जय जय करुणासागर पशुपति जगदीशा जय जय देव महादेव जय नित्यानंद देव 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 जटाजूट सिरवों पर सुरसरी धार चले जटाजूट सिरवों पर सुरसरी धार चले चंद्रकला मस्तक में मुंडन हार गले चंद्रकला मस्तक में मुंडन हार गले जय जय देव महादेव जय नित्यानंद देव 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 भाल विलोचन सुंदर कुंडल कानन में भाल विलोचन सुंदर कुंडल कानन में भूषण नाग विराजित बागंबर तन में भूषण नाग विराजित बागंबर तन में जय जय देव महादेव जय नित्यानंद देव 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 अंग विभूति मनोहर गौर शरीर लसे अंग विभूति मनोहर गौर शरीर लसे कर त्रिशूल परशुवर गिरिजा संग बसे कर त्रिशूल परशुवर गिरिजा संग बसे जय जय देव महादेव जय नित्यानंद देव 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 गिरि कैलाश कर शुभ सिंहासन राजे गिरि कैलाश कर शुभ सिंहासन राजे नंदी गण गणनायक शोभित दरवाजे नंदी गण गणनायक शोभित दरवाजे जय जय देव महादेव जय नित्यानंद देव 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 ऋषि मुनि सुरगण मिलकर महिमा गान करे ऋषि मुनि सुरगण मिलकर महिमा गान करे योगी जन हृदय में निश दिन ध्यान करे योगी जन हृदय में निश दिन ध्यान करे जय जय देव महादेव जय नित्यानंद देव 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 सकल मनोरथ दायक दीनन दुख हरता सकल मनोरथ दायक दीनन दुख हरता जन्म मरण भव बंधन हारण सुख करता जन्म मरण भव बंधन हारण सुख करता जय जय देव महादेव जय नित्यानंद देव 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 शिव शङ्कर जय गिरिजाधीशा जय नित्यानन्द शिव शङ्कर जय गिरिजाधीशा जय जय करुणासागर पशुपति जगदीश